Hello everybody, Ravi is working for an IT services company and he has been working like extremely hard over the last 2 years. Well, 10 plus years work experience, 25 lakhs plus salary, in a decent position, but in the daytime he's doing a leadership role. In the night time, he is doing an individual contributor role working with his client. Now, this is the same situation. You take out name Ravi and you put yourself in the shoe. There is a very high possibility that you say, I am doing the same. But the unfortunate thing is, last year you would have got probably 3 to 5% hike, and this year it's going to be the same. And if you go to your leadership company thinking that, hey, I have done some extraordinary work over the last few years, they will say thank you for all your hard work and we are replacing you with somebody else in less than 2 weeks. So if you want to quit, by all means, please do go ahead and quit. Now, this is what is happening in the market right now. And if you think this is only happening with you, you are absolutely wrong. A lot of companies are doing the same thing. Just to give you an example, Amazon always used to lay off 6% of the lowest performing employees in its company every single year. You just go and Google Amazon 6% layoffs every year and you will find a lot of Reddit threads, you will find a lot of Quora forum articles around this. But nobody talked about it. It was silent layoff. But recently when Facebook has laid off employees, it has come out and said that, hey, these guys are underperformers. There was no reason to do that. Absolutely no reason for somebody who is leaving the company to be told that, hey, this guy is not doing very well. Because when they are going into the market and say that, hey, I worked for Facebook previously, the HR recruiter, the hiring manager, everybody knows for a fact that, hey, probably there is some issue. Well, it might play in their mind versus not, but organizations doing these things is unnecessary. But this is what is happening right now everywhere. Big tech, services companies, everywhere, they are becoming ruthless. There is absolutely no apologetic nature when it comes to layoffs or when you are about to quit. So what do you do in this situation? Well, if you ask me, I would say you have to think about the entire job market in a very, very, very different way. And I will also give you an example as we continue in the video, how I would do my job search if I have to do it today. Well, then let's get started. What are we talking about? Of course, we are talking about how the entire world is moving towards AI. I had a conversation last week in London with one of my MBA classmates who is operating a large portfolio of companies for a private equity firm. And she mentioned that, hey Pavan, right now, each one of our companies, all these are small to medium sized companies based out of Europe. Each one of my companies is actually right now working or implementing or testing 5 to 7 AI products, which means 5 to 7 AI companies. Imagine 40 companies in their portfolio. Each company is working with 5 to 7. So 200 companies. Even if there are overlaps, probably there are at least 100 companies out there in her Excel sheet itself. There are a lot of AI companies, my friend. You have to look into those opportunities. Now, how do you start? Where do you start? What type of companies are these? That's $1 million question. I absolutely agree, and you might not have the answer right away. So let me start with my example. How do I start my job search? So before we jump into my job search, a quick shout out to our partners for today's video, Odin School. Odin School has launched a certification program in Applied Generative AI course in collaboration with E&ICT Academy, IIT Guwahati. It's a live instructor-led course where you will be learning technologies and tools to build and deploy generative AI models. These are not just theoretical concepts, but you will actually be executing them on 20 plus practical projects. Once you complete the course, you will be certified by E&ICT Academy, IIT Guwahati, and along with that, you will also get the course completion certificate. Not just that, all successful learners will be eligible for an immersive program at the IIT Guwahati campus. This course is taught by the mentors from the academic world and also experts from the corporate world. Once you complete the program, you will be eligible for their holistic placement support, which will continue for 18 months, and you will have a lot of mock interviews and behavioral interviews. Right now, there is an early bird discount offer of 12,000 rupees. You also have options to pay through an EMI, and scholarships are also available. Highly recommended program, so please go ahead and check out the program through the link in the description. Now quickly coming back into the video, if I have to start my job search, of course I will start with picking up some knowledge in the AI space. Next, I will start exploring organizations on two fronts. The first front is large organizations and small organizations. Large organizations which are playing with AI in my domain, and small organizations which are building products through AI in my domain. And what is my domain? Let me just give you that quick overview so that you know where I will be searching. So I have experience in data analytics, I have experience in management consulting, and I have experience in technology. These are my three broad areas. So if I just take data analytics, what is the transformation that AI is doing in data analytics today? There are two ends. How the data is collected. Let's assume you go to a Nike store, you buy something, and that data of your purchase, your credit card, the shoe that you bought, right, the time that you bought that shoe, all of that is recorded. So that data is then processed, and then somebody is doing analytics on top of it. And previously I used to do that analytics. Now with AI, how the data is being collected, transformed, managed, data management itself is going through a rapid set of changes. Do you know that? If you are in the data analytics space, you need to know that Anthropic has released a new data connector which is working off a protocol called Model Context Protocol, MCP, and that is changing this entire landscape. So as somebody in the analytics space, I will keep an eye out on what is happening. So if you are into any specific technology, you need to go and understand how that technology is being transformed through AI, and you need to understand the bits and pieces of it, because number one, big companies are trying to implement it. So if you say that hey, I have prior experience of how to do it traditionally, and I also know a bit about how AI can change this, that's the golden intersection we are talking about. That's on one end. The second end is hey, how the entire analytics itself is done through AI. So I will keep an eye out on both these things. I will go into big companies who are trying to do these things by themselves, or I will also definitely look out for startups. I will look out for startups in Europe and US. The reason because there is a shortage of talent over there, and also the cost of hiring an individual is less in India. So they will be open for that conversations, but you need to do that research on LinkedIn to identify what are the startups operating in your space. That's a research that can give you a very, very, very good edge. And you go ahead, start talking to founders, start talking to the product managers within these companies. Nobody is publishing these roles on LinkedIn, or you are not going to get access to these roles through Naukri or any other job search website. You have to initiate these conversations. For small guys, at least. For big guys, of course, you might probably find a role, and still networking is a very good way. Now, if you are looking for a job, this is a very good way. Think about it. On the other end, I would also encourage you to think about, hey, is there something which you can start with a friend or some family member? What do I mean by that? As I said in the starting of the conversation, when I had a chat with my friend who is working as this operating partner in a private equity firm, and she shared this 100+ companies, AI companies, majority of them are small companies. They are not funded. Why can't you start a company? And what does it take for you to start a company? Three things. Number one, you need to know the tech a bit about it. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be a PhD. ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, all these guys are making it easy for you to build a wrapper around it. So just a bit of that initial apprehension, you need to overcome that. The second thing that you need to know is, however, the deep knowledge of your domain. For example, there are a lot of tools around technical documentation. It's a very good example of, hey, people used to write a lot of time, document all the stuff that they are doing. Now you can just do it through a tool, and somebody had made a tool for that. So pick up that specific use case, or go specific into one industry. Financial services, banking, retail banking. Within retail banking, something else. Go deeper and deeper and deeper, because it becomes easy for you to see, hey, who should I sell it to? Can I have 10 conversations, 20 conversations? The logic is not as important as finding the right person. Well, you know the logic and you know the industry, so you can get to a decent enough product And you need to know all these things in a very small focused area so that you can also talk to the right person. Now, I have been doing this for years. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me through my Gmail. I'll put it in the comments or I will put it in the description. But a few quick caveats. Number one, don't pick up an industry which will take its own sweet time to get to these kind of decisions. For example, big banks. Big banks are worried about data privacy more than innovation. Utilities companies, for example, energy, electricity companies. If you say that, hey, I will build an AI product for you, for them, product is not important. For them, what is more important is, hey, is my electricity connection stable or not? If you do something, go and do something wrong, that's a bigger problem for them. So don't pick these type of industries, but otherwise it could be a decent enough choice for you to go and build these things. If you want to talk more about it, if you want to talk more about your job search strategies, how you want to explore, please do comment below and let's take the conversation forward. I hope this video is helpful and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.